What if I told you that the thing you've been chasing, balance, is the exact reason you're stuck? What if work-life balance isn't wisdom, but comfort disguised as maturity? Look around. The people building empires, elite physiques, powerful skills. Do they look balanced to you, or do they look obsessed? Today, we're going to challenge one of the most popular ideas of modern self-development. And by the end of this video, you'll understand when balance is useful and when it's killing your potential. Stay with me, because this will change how you approach the next 5 years of your life. Let's be clear, balance sounds healthy, safe, responsible. It sounds like something a mature, put together adult should strive for. 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of life, a little bit of gym, a little bit of Netflix, a little bit of social life, a little bit of ambition, clean, polished, reasonable. But here's the problem. Balance assumes all areas of your life deserve equal energy all the time. That's not how growth works. Growth is not symmetrical. Growth is not polite. Growth is aggressive and selective. When you're building something from zero, your career, your body, your business, your mindset, you are not in a maintenance phase. You are in a construction phase. And construction sites are not calm. They are loud, focused, intense. You don't build a skyscraper by working on every floor at once for 1 hour a day. You concentrate resources, you stack effort, you push hard in one direction until something moves. Intensity creates momentum. Momentum creates results. Results create options. Nobody becomes exceptional by doing everything in moderation. Show me someone world-class in sport, business, art, and I'll show you someone who went through seasons of obsession. Seasons where one priority dominated the schedule. Moderation maintains. Obsession transforms. Balance is maintenance mode. And maintenance mode is perfect if you've already built something worth maintaining. But if you're still laying the foundation, if your finances are unstable, your body is weak, your skills are average, your discipline inconsistent, maintenance is a trap. It feels productive, it feels adult, it feels stable, but it quietly locks you into mediocrity. Now, here's where people misunderstand this message. I'm not telling you to destroy your health. I'm not telling you to neglect your family or burn every relationship. That's not discipline. That's chaos disguised as ambition. What I'm saying is this. Stop expecting symmetry while you're in a growth phase. There will be seasons where your career demands more, seasons where your training becomes the priority, seasons where you wake up earlier and say no more often. That doesn't mean your life is broken. It means you're building. Symmetry is for maintenance, asymmetry is for expansion. And if you're honest with yourself, you already know which season you're in. The question is, are you brave enough to commit to it? High performers don't live in chaos. From the outside, it might look extreme, long hours, obsession, tunnel vision. But internally, it's structured, deliberate, controlled. They operate in phases. That's the difference. Phase 1, sprint. This is where you push harder than comfortable. Not emotionally, not randomly, strategically uncomfortable. Longer hours, fewer distractions, deep, ruthless focus. You cut the noise, you reduce social media, you say no more often, you protect your mornings, you protect your energy. Entertainment becomes optional, convenience becomes irrelevant. Why? Because you're compressing effort. You're stacking disciplined days on top of each other until momentum becomes undeniable. And momentum is powerful. Once it starts, it pulls you forward. But here's why most people quit in this phase. It feels unbalanced. Your friends question you. Your routine feels intense. You feel stretched. Good. That discomfort, that's the edge forming. Pressure creates adaptation. Intensity exposes weakness. Focus builds skill. But here's the key. And this is where most people destroy themselves. Intensity must be intentional. You don't sprint blindly. You don't just work hard forever. You choose the target, one skill, one project, one measurable objective. You define the time frame, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. You commit fully, knowing there is an end point. Without a defined target and timeline, intensity becomes chaos, and chaos leads to burnout. Which brings us to phase 2, strategic recovery. Not laziness, not emotional collapse, not 3 hours of mindless scrolling pretending it's rest. Real recovery, sleep that is protected like a meeting with your future. Training that strengthens instead of drains. Nutrition that rebuilds. Time with people who recharge you instead of distract you. Silence, reflection, space to think. Recovery isn't weakness. Recovery is integration. It's where your nervous system resets. It's where your body adapts. It's where your mind organizes the lessons from the sprint. Recovery isn't the opposite of discipline, it's part of it. The problem is most people try to live in permanent balance, medium effort, medium focus, medium results, because it feels safe. Or they live in permanent hustle, ego-driven intensity with no structure, until they crash. High performers cycle, sprint, recover, sprint again, each cycle sharper, each cycle stronger. And that's why they break through ceilings that others never even touch. Not because they're superhuman, but because they understand rhythm. Intensity builds the edge, recovery sharpens it. And balance is what you earn after you've built something worth protecting. So how do you know when to push? This is where most people lie to themselves. They say they need rest, when what they really need is discipline. They say they're overwhelmed, when what they really are is distracted. Let's simplify it. Push when you're early in the game. If you're still building skills, still trying to increase income, still shaping your body, still learning how to focus, this is not the season for coasting. Early stages demand disproportionate effort. The foundation decides the height of the building. Push when you're behind your goals. Be honest. If the year is halfway gone and your progress is minimal, that's feedback, not shame, feedback. That's not the moment to search for better balance. That's the moment to tighten standards. Push when you feel capable of more, but keep choosing comfort. This one stings. You know that feeling at night when you realize you had more in the tank? When you could have made one more call, studied 30 more minutes, done one more set? That gap between capacity and action, that's where your edge is hiding. Push when you still have unused energy at the end of the day. If you finish your day with mental bandwidth left, but you default to scrolling, snacking, or passive entertainment, you're not overworked. You're undercommitted. Now let's flip it. Recover when your performance drops consistently. Not one bad day. A pattern. If your output declines despite effort, something needs recalibration. Recover when your focus collapses. If you're staring at the screen and nothing sticks, if your thoughts are scattered, if everything feels heavier than it should, that's a signal. Recover when your body shows clear fatigue signals, persistent soreness, poor sleep, elevated irritability, lack of motivation that feels physical, not emotional. And recover when you've completed a defined sprint. If you committed to 60 days of intensity and you executed, earn your reset. That's discipline too. But understand this clearly. Recovery is earned. Comfort is not. Scrolling because you feel like it isn't recovery. Quitting early isn't recovery. Avoiding hard things isn't recovery. Recovery follows effort. And here's the hard truth most people don't want to hear. You don't need more balance. You need more courage to go all in. Courage to commit fully. Courage to be temporarily misunderstood. Courage to stretch beyond what feels reasonable. Because average effort creates average lives. And if you're watching Iron Discipline, I know that's not what you're here for. 5 years from now, you won't regret the season you went obsessed. You'll regret the season you played it safe. So stop asking, how do I balance everything? Start asking, where do I need to dominate right now? Because balance maintains your current life. Intensity builds the next one. This is Iron Discipline. And if you're ready to build an edge instead of excuses, stay with me. The next video, we're talking about how to design a 90-day domination phase without burning out. You don't want to miss that. If you made it to the end, it means you take your growth seriously. And you have my respect for that. Remember, knowledge without action means nothing. Do one thing today that moves you toward a stronger version of yourself. If this video brought you value, leave a like and subscribe to Iron Discipline. We don't build motivation here, we build character. I'll see you in the next video.